Alright, so in this video I'm going to place some of the Guardrail civil cells that we have built for the GDOT workspace. So here I have a corridor and I've laid out a bridge using the roadway template library. You could use OBM as well in conjunction with a linear template or a corridor template for roadway. So here I have a couple different templates in my 3D. We'll see is we just have a roadway, and then there is a bridge template that I'll be using. And here is the example of the guardrail that I have already placed in the 3D. So if I rotate my view here and look at that, there we have our 3D and our bridge and the guardrail. And there's a 3D line style that's attached to our guardrail. So I'm going to go ahead and hit escape and go to my element selection. We'll go to our next area where we have a bridge and our roadway. So I'm going to zoom into our 3D. So here we have another area that we're going to place our guardrail civil cell, and then we can make our adjustments on there. So I'm going to go to the model detailing tab on the ribbon, and then civil cells, we'll go place civil cell. And if we look at the guardrail civil cell library, so I'm going to expand that out. There's a GDOT guardrail type 12a.dgn live that has a left and right or an entrance and exit, depending on where you're going to place it on your roadway template. So they're all guardrail terminal type 12A. We have asphalt shoulder, which is partial. There's a full depth asphalt shoulder, and on each civil cell there'll be a left and a right to help us place it at the beginning or the end of the bridge, and either on the left-hand side of the roadway or the right-hand side. There is asphalt shoulder only. There's concrete full depth and concrete full depth left and right. There's also just one that has off of a shoulder line. So the first four, where asphalt to concrete, those will be placed off of an edge of pavement. They have the 2-foot shoulder extension built into the civil cell. So let's go ahead and put our asphalt shoulder full depth. I'm going to do a left, and over in the preview window, what this has is two references to place it. There's a reference for the shoulder line, and then there's a data point that will be the start of our guardrail location. So I'm going to click OK on that. And we're going to go to the left and following the cursor prompt. So we're going to data point at the start of the guardrail. So I'm going to place this data point at the start, which is the end of my roadway template and the beginning of my bridge template. And I'm going to left click to accept that. And now I'm going to locate the mainline shoulder line. In this case, it's going to be our edge of a pavement that we're going to pick. So I'm going to click on that. And in this instance, we need to do an alternative. So we're going to flip the direction of our civil cell in reference to the element that we're picking from our design file. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the arrow, and that will give me a preview of that civil cell that's placed off there. Here we have a preview of the placement of the civil cell. We have a 2D line style for the guardrail, and we also have our OGS that's going to be controlled by a point control and a permit constraint within our civil cell. So once everything looks fine there, I'm going to go ahead and right click. And I could do corridor clipping. I'm not going to do it for this instance, but we can do that in another video. So I'm going to right click to reset that, and then I'm going to left click and place our civil cell. And if I zoom in to my 3D, there we'll see our 3D civil cell in place. I need to do a little cleanup after I place it, but it's tying in nicely if I rotate our view to that 3D model of the guardrail on the bridge and the placement of the guardrail as well. So that's the placement. Let's go ahead and place our left, but we're going to go to the other side of the bridge. So we're going to go over here. Again, we're going to do a data point, and then pick on our edge of pavement. It'll always give you a preview of the civil cell in 2D. And once everything looks correct on the placement of that, so we have our guardrail and our OGS area is all set, I'm just going to right click and then left click, and it's going to place that civil cell on that other edge of our bridge. So there's the left, and then we can come back to our right, and it's going to place it on there as well. So if I go to my right hand side, and we did our full depth, so now I want to do the asphalt shoulder full depth to the right. And again, it'll give you a preview of what that civil cell looks like. So I'm going to do a data point for the start, and then pick on the reference line. And there it's going to put it on the right hand side, and reset, and then left click to place, and it'll place that in there as well. We'll go to our other side, and we're going to do the same thing, still in the tool. So we'll do a data point for start, select our reference. In this one, we need to switch the direction of the reference to place the guardrail on the correct side. And then I'll right click for the alternative, since it looks like it's placing correctly. And then this time, I'm going to go ahead and select on my corridor that I want to clip. I'm going to select on that clip of the corridor, and then right click, reset, and left click to place that civil cell. And there it goes, placed. And there we have our clipping reference and a little bit of cleanup that we would need to do on that. So that is the placements of those. And that's how all the civil cells for the guardrails are built. They're based off of a data point for the start, and then a reference line for the edge of shoulder or edge of pavement to place the civil cell. And some of them will have the 2-foot shoulder built in, and the guardrail is built in there. We can also take a look at our corridor, the cross section. So we go ahead to the corridors tab, and I'm going to open up a dynamic cross section view of our corridor. I'm going to select an open view, just so we can see that 3D line style is within our dynamic cross section as well. So here we see our corridor, and if I do a right click in my corridor view or the cross section view, I'm going to locate station via data point, locate my plan view, and I'm going to go ahead and select in my cross section. And there we'll see that we have a regular cross section. And as I move up to look at our guardrail will show up, and it looks like that is on the right wrong hand side of there's our bridge. I come back over to our guardrail on the other side of the road. There's our guardrail showing up. Oops, and if I get too far past. So there's our guardrail showing up. So we can look to see if we have any conflicts of how we place our guardrail in there. So that is the placement. In another video, we will show some of the ways we can modify or adjust our civil cell after we place it.